Hey there, boaters. I'm Captain Stacey Hanrahan, and welcome to Monday's episode of Boaters TV. First up, our Captain's Caption photo was provided by Patrick Anderson. We'll reveal the caption of the day at the end of the show. Now in nautical know-how, Southern Boating's Captain Robb Hanrahan is here with tips on cruising with kids.
Hey there, Captain Stacey. Kids do tend to get bored quicker than adults. With all the thrills of boating, you can still expect your child to say, "What can I do?" especially on an extended cruise. So how do you keep from throwing the little ones overboard? Well, we turned to a mother of 5 and got some answers. For a year, Laura Guajardo and her husband have cruised Central America aboard a 41-foot Choi Lee with their 5 young boys. Now that's a handful. Laura learned that reading and coloring will only keep the boys' attention for so long. So she's filled up a bag of tricks and shared them with us in her article, Cruising with Kids 101. Laura's first suggestion is to stop off at your local dollar store before you set sail. See, she's found things like calligraphy pens and dinosaur construction kits that weren't only cheap, but were a big hit on rainy days. A 300-piece jigsaw puzzle will also keep the kids focused for a while, especially if you're in heavy seas. But the key, Laura says, is to sit with them as they play, and occasional encouragement will help keep them interested longer in their project. Sunny days seem to offer more entertainment opportunities, obviously. Besides the old pastimes of fishing and swimming, water toys provide children with both exercise and a lot of excitement. They may take up more storage room on board, but no kid can resist a wakeboard, water skis, an underwater scooter, or going for a dinghy ride. And consider giving your kids specific jobs to do around the boat. Laura's boys earn Game Boy time by completing chores. For example, let your teenager help navigate. Maybe the little guys can help with routine maintenance. Laura says if you plan ahead, you may still hear the inevitable, "What can I do?" but at least you'll be ready with something. To read her complete article, pick up a copy of this month's Southern Boating magazine or register for our virtual magazine at www.southernboating.com.
Thanks, Rob. Next up in Ship Shape, is your boat's engine ready for ethanol? Lately, I've been noticing a lot more gas station pumps with signs telling me I'm about to fill my car's tank with gasoline that contains up to 10% ethanol. And it's likely you have too, as government regulations and market forces are replacing normal gasoline with the blended type. Lately, I've also been noticing a lot more media stories presenting the pros and cons of ethanol. And while the debate motors on, one thing is for sure, boat owners should beware. Ethanol blended gasoline has the potential to wreak havoc on a marine engine. Fuel containing ethanol has the power to dissolve fuel lines on older boats, eat through fiberglass, and clog carburetors and other engine parts. Plus, ethanol absorbs water, which is not good for fuel-injected engines. It's not a problem in cars since they have closed fuel systems, but boats have to have vented fuel systems, and therefore, air has access to the tank. Now, already a class action lawsuit has been filed on behalf of California boaters against major oil companies that sell the blended gasoline. The suit claims the oil companies know this type of fuel is corrosive, but have been keeping boaters in the dark. Now, since 2004, all gasoline sold in California has been required to contain at least 5.7% ethanol. So what can you do besides trade in your gas-powered boat for a diesel guzzler? First, check with your engine's manufacturer to be sure your entire fuel system is ethanol compatible. Most of the newer engines are. Now, if it isn't, you'll have to check for those ethanol signs at the pump and only use ethanol-free gasoline. Problem is, it's getting harder to find. As the boating season progresses and tanks are filled, we'll keep an eye on these ethanol issues for you. Now let's see what's splashing around in nautical news. While we're on the topic of ethanol, researchers at Western Michigan University are actually looking beneath our boats for a new way to produce it. The team is planning to research how to effectively convert algae into ethanol. The biofuel is made primarily from corn or sugar, and lawmakers have embraced ethanol as a homegrown alternative to foreign oil supplies. But using our land to farm for fuel could cause food shortages and certainly rising food cost. However, converting algae to ethanol doesn't force a choice between food and fuel. And the researchers point out that algae grows quickly. Sailors training for the upcoming Olympics in China don't need to hear that from any expert. The waters around Qingdao have been covered with a bright green algal bloom that has made it impossible for the sailors to get in any practice time. Those that have seen it up close say the seaweed is thick as a carpet. China called in thousands of people to help clear out the algae that began showing up in early June. If it's still around when the Olympics kick off in August, it'll be a terrible obstruction at best and a competition ender at worst. Pollution is a main producer of algal blooms. China's recent economic boom has left its waterways severely polluted with chemicals and sewage. Chinese officials, however, are denying the algae is a result of pollution. And now it's time to announce this week's poll. Here we go. What is your biggest worry when underway? Mechanical or electrical failure, running aground, being hit by another boat, bad weather, getting lost, I don't worry. To vote, simply go to www.theboaters.com. Now it's time to reveal Stacey's theboaters.com Sealebrity profile pick of the day, which is Captain David H. Clarkson and his 33-foot Sea Ray, the Helios. David has been boating his entire life, and with one look at his photos, you can tell he really enjoys it. He also seems to be pretty popular with the ladies. Welcome to the Boaters, and congrats on your Sealebrity status. And finally today, the captain's caption of the day is, "Turn to port. Port, I said." Okay, left. Turn left. Submitted by Ling. And that'll do it for this episode of the Boaters TV. See you back here on Wednesday.